Hey everybody, welcome. If you are new here, like and subscribe so that you don't ever miss my golden nuggets. Before we get started, I do need to do my lovely disclaimer of the fact that I am not a licensed clinician of any sort. I am not a doctor. I am somebody with lived experience, and I am obsessed with providing information as I learn it and as I just want to get it out and, put a fun, quirky spin on it because I can and because I enjoy it. So, that being said, we are today briefly going over ADHD across the lifespan because there is some potentially beliefs and myths that ADHD does not affect every aspect of your life. And whether you can compartmentalize very well or not, it is the way your brain works. So of course, it's going to affect every piece of your life. Some more than others because some parts of your life are more stressful or require more critical thinking and functioning and all of that stuff compared to others. However, it will it will still affect it. So that being said, I am going to share my screen. Here we go. Okay, so ADHD is at the center. It is a whole life, whole person condition. This is an article from Attitude Magazine, which is, I love it. It is a research-based magazine, and honestly, I use it to look up a lot of things because it's almost like a research database. But I love, and it's a lot longer, so you can go look this up. I'll put the link in the information. But ADHD, as Linda says, is more than just the sum of its symptoms. It touches your life from the moment you wake up to the instant you finally nod off. Um, it is there 24/7, 365, influencing every part of you, which is 1000% true. It was originally thought of as that it was only a children's condition. Why? Because as we grow, we develop coping mechanisms, we develop ways of handling things, and we get better at it as our brain develops. So, a lot of professionals were trained when they thought it was just something kids outgrew, but it is a neurobiological disorder that affects individuals across the lifespan. And if you would like more information on that, you can go to chad.org. They have, again, tons of information. So, symptoms. These could include, but not limited to, daydreaming, sound or light sensitivity, overstimulation, internal hyperactivity. Not everybody has these, and some people it presents much differently than others. And there are so many more things that go with these, but these are a lot that just came to the top of my head. And these are all the different just symptoms. And so let's talk about real quick, how do they translate into 24-hour, like how do they affect you? If you're daydreaming, you could very easily zone out during conversations. Um, Sound or light sensitivity. If you go into a crowded room with horrible acoustics, then even though it's not like loud, like you're standing next to a speaker, but just um, the decibel of the sound in the background is going to just gradually like grind at me. Or some people are very sensitive to light. Um, they are just like something with how they process it. Overstimulation. I get overstimulation a lot with loud noises, but something that it may come out with is like if somebody is quick to snap back or they get headaches or they're around too many people all day and they just need like quiet or alone time, something like that. Overstimulation can come out in a lot of different ways, and we are so busy in general these days that if somebody is like really quick to snap, we don't even consider that it could be overstimulation. We're just like, man, that person was rude. Um, Internal hyperactivity or racing thoughts. If somebody's interrupting conversations or their inability to fall asleep easy, because if somebody has been like on and having to function all day, the minute they get to where they can just relax and their brain can turn off a little bit, all of a sudden like their brain goes into like overdrive and they just start overthinking things, thinking about what they need to not forget, all these things. And suddenly they're just like, I can't fall asleep. And that's why a lot of people have to have something to listen to focus on so their brain can turn off. Overreaction. This could go good or bad, excitement to anger, or just going from like 0 to 1,000. Planning. If you overschedule or make scheduling mistakes, or like you say you're going to um, one place and you put the other location in, or you're like, I'm gonna put something in my calendar so I don't forget, but it's a placeholder, and then you never go change to what the placeholder should actually be, and then all of a sudden, like you're messed up. Working memory forgets immediate details, doesn't hear complete instructions. I have to write things down, and if somebody is verbally telling me, they need to not tell me after the first two things because my brain's already going to find out, figuring out what I need to do to get it done. Organization, having cluttered spaces or losing things. Sometimes we overorganize ourselves, and sometimes our organization looks like clutter because um, who knows? That's what works for us. And then boredom with mundane tasks. This very much is part of the um, interest-based nervous system. They don't finish projects because they get bored with it. Difficulty with simple tasks, but excels at complex tasks with ease. Um, I don't want to meal plan, or I don't want to go do this simple thing, or, call and make a doctor appointment, whatever. But I love a complex project or like starting something new because it's interesting. There's a novel to it. Um, so I know I like ran through that, but you can kind of see how it would translate into really 24 hours. The key to this awareness that everybody is different and how ADHD affects them, especially with coexisting conditions that are a whole nother ballpark. Um, Having awareness, whoever has the ADHD or the people that they live with, because um, they they can have coping mechanisms, but um, I mean, nobody is perfect. So, sometimes it's not going to work. Sometimes they're gonna, be so dang tired that um, they don't remember something. Um, so awareness, and that's why I put understanding, because the more that you or they understand how their brain works and some of the qualities and quirks they may have from ADHD, the more you can say, not necessarily that you like it, but you understand why, and you know that they're not doing something on purpose. And just, having that patience and like they're we're very naturally defensive because we've been criticized our entire lives. And so um, that's why we might snap back if you're like, hey, you didn't do this. And that comes off as criticism a lot of times. So having the awareness and understanding of how it presents, the strengths, the weaknesses, and how you can work together or whatever that looks like. But it is very much a 24-hour thing. Um, and honestly, that is, in my opinion, why it's not as easy as just like, hey, compartmentalize things. I'm like, well, if I'm stressed about something, I may be zoning out and thinking about that during when I'm supposed to be working on a different project because um, my brain's worried about it. And once I get it figured out, great, out of sight, out of mind. But yeah, so understand that it is different for everybody. Um, and it the tools, systems, and medication, anything like that, it's not a fix. You can't fix it. It is just a way to help manage, but it takes a lot of different kinds of things to manage it. Um, so conversations and understanding are so key so that you can be there for those people, or if it is you, you can understand yourself and begin to accept, like, here's how I am. Now, how do I do this? Um, so again, if this was helpful, like and subscribe so you can always see my insanity and my craziness. Join the circus. Otherwise, have a fantastic day wherever you are, whatever you are doing, and I will see you next time.